Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? I missed you guys, man. Just check out the chat a little bit, see what y'all been up to. Cause y'all know sometimes I get up and I'm doing things in the morning time, so I'll go ahead and set the stream, but then I'll go off and I'll do stuff, and I come back and there's nobody in the space. Then the room is full, chat is going off. Harpo, who this woman? I like it. Good morning. That chick, yo. Good morning. Toronto Riggins. Good morning. Salute D-Rob. Grasshopper? See, there's a lot of inside jokes happening right there. A lot of inside jokes happening right now. What up, boo? Hey, once again, back in the building. Seemed like a long time, though. Seems like it's been a minute, because it really has. I don't think I've taken, outside of the holiday season, 2 days off in a row. But life be lifin'. Y'all seen the title, man. Life be lifin'. I don't think that's proper English, but it works. And man, let's do actually I'm gonna just, before we even get started with the show, I'm gonna go into, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the show, but then I'll do a recap a little bit later. But welcome to Morning Motivation, where we build community, expand our thoughts, and get our day started on the right foot. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm excited that you stopped through today. And while you're coming on in, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know you appreciate the content, or put in the chat some things that you want to see more of. We want to develop each other personally. We want to build community, and we want to definitely give you what you came here for. And if it's just entertainment, then we welcome that as well. All right, so now, let me tell y'all, man, life be lifin'. So just heads up, today is going to be a little bit more of a catch-up show, over the weekend show, what happened, and then we're going to get into a topic that's going to take us through the rest of the week. So first off, I just want to ask how y'all doing. Oh, it's proper that Chigio says, life be lifin'. Oh, that's right, I added the G onto it. Gotcha. Mental note taken. Oh, Mama P is good. Matter of fact, she gonna mess around and be in some of this story this morning. Mama P gonna be in this story this morning. Just hold on. Change is coming. Oh man. So, but how y'all been, man? How y'all been, for real? I see your comment, bro. I got you. Ladies, how y'all been, though? What's been going on with y'all? Y'all still holding it in the road? Yeah, I think today's topic is going to be relevant for a lot of us. So, yeah, for sure. D-Rob, today's topic is going to be relevant for you too, my guy. Brick by brick in the house. What's good, my guy? What is happening? Let me see. That's what I want. All right. That Chickio said, just parenting the parents. Oh, man. I love it. Just parenting the parents. I know that feeling. Toronto Rican says, I'm loving my new workplace. I don't have to lay hands on anyone like I did the last job. Shout out. So no laying of the hands. Oh, man.
Catches bullets with his teeth.
I love it. D-Rob says, sure, go ahead, bro. What's up? We always got time for questions, bro. That's what community is for. Why does the hardships feel like they last so long? Well, that is I'm gonna give you two opinions on it. Two different thoughts. One, sometimes when we want a thing, we anticipate a thing, or we want a certain result, we get so invested in the result. We get so invested in the result that oh yeah, it totally makes sense. We get so invested in the result that the result is all that we see. We don't always see the steps along the way. As Toronto Riggins just said, we don't understand the process. We don't see it from a step-by-step formula. We look at it in a lot of ways. We look at it in a lot of ways of it's kind of supposed to be, because the outcome is so intoxicating to us. The outcome is so, what's the word? The outcome is so, it gets us there. It feeds something in us. And we get so invested in that outcome that we forget some steps along the way. And so when the disappointment happens, or the what was the word you used? Hardship. When the hardship happens, we were so invested in the result that we didn't, or that we don't recognize that we were skipping over some things trying to get this, maybe a shortcut or something. But we kick ourselves when we think it's our fault. When we think we could have done something different. When we think that it's on us. It's harder to get over when it's on you. It's harder to get past it when you feel like you let you down. Brick by Brick says, fall in love with the process. There you go. Pick it up and keep swinging. And that's, unmet expectations is a real thing. I've had them. I've been in love with people. Well, I've been in love with money. I've been in love with church itself, the building, not so much the spirit of it, God or the people, but I was on fire and I went to church and I gave it all, and then I was heartbroken, and it's life, man. It's life. And so this is the first perspective. unmet expectations or unmet outcomes. When we expect a thing to be so and it doesn't happen. Sometimes we do carry that guilt. Now, when it's somebody else that's at fault, we don't carry guilt, but there's a victim mentality that comes along with it. They did this to me. Excuse me. They did this to me, so I deserve to feel this way. I deserve to be, or I'm owed something. There's a victim mentality. So we have guilt on one side, victim mentality on the other side. Toronto Riggins says, a rose isn't a rose when it is a seed. It has to go through the process of becoming a rose. It needs nurturing, sunlight, and care. That's how life is. The process is up. I think this is up. Oh, ugly and painful, but beautiful after. Facts. Facts. All facts. Everybody goes through those things. Everybody has their ups, their downs, their trials. That's part of life. That's part of life. And so as Brick by Brick says, fall in love with the process. I was talking to a guy last night. He's one of the employees of the company that I manage. And bright guy, super bright guy. He's maybe a year or two younger than you, D-Rock. And he's really sharp in his understanding of the tech. He knows how it's supposed to be, but he's struggling getting to his next space, his next level. And he was asking me for some advice last night, and I basically told him, fail fast. Fail fast. As I've gotten older, I know a lot of us, a lot of us are close to the same age. I'm probably the oldest in the room. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm the oldest in the room. But the older that I get, you'll start to see or recognize that things you're doing now, you could have done much earlier. There's a few of us, however, who do it earlier and they reap benefits much earlier. But those are the outliers. Those are the outliers. Most of us, we go through periods of uncertainty in our 20s. We're just trying to figure it out. And then we get into our 30s and we start trying to create our space. We're going to leave our mark. And then when we get into our 40s, we know who we are at this point. And because now we're understanding who we are, we're starting to feel some regret. Because the thing that we were thinking about doing in our 20s, either it became a reality, but most likely it didn't become a reality. And we realized we are behind the power curve. Or we wasted too much time doing this thing over here when we really wanted to be over here. And all these regrets start to happen. And there's only really one way to get past the D-Rock. Only really one way to get past it. Fail fast. You're probably one of the youngest in the group. Fail fast. Whatever it is you want to do, go do it. See how it works out. Take the hit. Fail fast in relationships. Fail fast in business. Fail fast in jobs. Job ain't got no loyalty to you. Go out there and experiment. Go figure out what you really want to do. Fail fast. Get it out the way. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do something that's not really scripted to do, but not like any of this is scripted, by the way. But something that I generally wouldn't do. I'm gonna try to do a live example. All right, let me see if my tech gonna work this morning. What am I looking for? Okay. Let's see if my tech gonna work this morning. Or can I? It might not let me do it. Let me see. Y'all know how you got those little adapters that you plug all your stuff into, as far as all your mouse and all the other things on your computers. Well, I got this big unit, but it's full, and so sometimes you can't use all the ports in there. I think that's what's going to be the case today. I think so. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. So all right, let me describe it. Let's say we all have this period, right? The time we're born to the time we leave this earth. The dash in the middle on the headstone, the dash, the things that happen to us along the way. There's a success date in the middle in there. And so many times we get into our 20s and we're still carefree. We haven't been beat up by life too bad at that point. And we try more things. And then we get into our 30s and we start slowing down because now we're thinking more about life. Going back to the conversation we did on mastery, 10,000 hours into something gives you a level of expertise and mastery that most people will never have because they just kind of do it, but you really do it. But it's not until you put that time in a space, in a dedicated space, that you actually become the master, that you are able to have the success that you want, that your number hits and you get that lick that you've been looking for, that result, that outcome. So many people, and this is wild, I saw a statistic a while ago that it says that when people are pushing for retirement date, and when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I retire, I'm going to do that. And they'll spend 30 years working at a company, retire, and then, unfortunately, they pass along 6 months later. Happens all the time. All the time. But what if retirement wasn't the goal? What if retirement wasn't the dream? You think about it. We got a born date and we got a death date. We don't know when that death date is coming. So if we keep putting off things and we keep holding on to ill feelings and bad feelings, we're just prolonging our success date and pushing it closer to our death date. That's really all we're doing. Who was it? Kevin Samuels, right? Kevin Samuels was on YouTube for years. For those of you who know who Kevin Samuels is. YouTube for years, trying to figure out the pattern, his algorithm, what he was wanting to talk about, where he could hit. And then lo and behold, he found his space. For some people, it was a very unpopular space. For some people, it was a very popular space, depending on your viewpoints. But he hit. And I remember him saying, I caught a show, he said, man, what difference a year makes. And he was talking about his journey. And then the next year he was gone. Next year he was gone. Life be lifin. All you have is today. And so D-Rob, hard truth. We stay in a place because we want to stay in a place. We stay in a place because we don't want to fight yet. We don't want to do what it takes to get out of it yet. Because it's comfortable wallowing in the result that you didn't get. I've been there. And one day, I decided, you know what? I went through almost a 10-year depression, my guy. I was in a relationship that I wasn't happy in. I was in a career that didn't really make enough money to my standard. My health wasn't good. I was out of shape. I was overweight. And I did just enough. And I would hate being in that position. But somehow or another, that position became comfortable to me. And I found myself trapped. And when I woke up, too much time had passed. Too much time had passed by. And I lost some really good years that I can never get back. And the day that I decided, I'm not staying here no longer. I can't continue to stay here. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in my children. I'm disappointed in my parents. And the thing is, none of them were disappointed in me. But they all expected more from me. Well, Dad just be talking. I heard my oldest daughter say that one time. Dad just be talking. What you mean, Dad just be talking? Well, Dad, you said you was gonna do this and you ain't did it yet. And it started cutting me, man. It started cutting me. Because I had nobody that was holding me accountable, because my ex, we had been together probably 15, 16 years at this point. And the relationship had turned so sour that, I didn't really say much to her. She didn't really say much to me. We were just co-parenting, just roommates and co-parenting. And it just really wasn't a good environment. And so my children started holding me accountable. And then my mom started having struggles. My dad started having struggles. And either I couldn't get off work to go be with them, or I didn't have the money to help out. And I just started feeling away all around the board. I'm climbing stairs and I'm breathing heavy. My cholesterol level's getting high. My sugar level's going high. It's like I'm failing all around the board. Do you know who you are, sir? Who is this person I see in the mirror? This is not me. That's what I started saying to myself, man. And I had to re-envision who that person was. And I would love to tell you that it went away instantly. But it don't work that way either. But what did happen was, when I got my mind going in a more positive direction, when I started doing my affirmations every day, opportunities and doors began to open. Opportunities and doors began to open. I started eating better. I started back working out. And because my mind changed, my body began to change. And then when I met my wife, I wasn't pudgy and out of shape. She was interested in me. She said, now that's a whole snack right there. Look at that chicken mini over there. I like it. Yo, Chick-fil-A chicken minis are undefeated. I'm just saying that. That's all I'm saying. They chicken minis are undefeated. They know what they're doing, only serving it at breakfast time. They're trying to get us in there early. But anyway, I digress. It's a decision. I decided I'm not going to be a victim anymore. And then I set out to do it. I would love to say it was an easy process, but it wasn't. It was a lot of steps. And so I've learned to fall in love with the process. Like Brick by Brick was talking about. That chick Yo said, pick that brick up and swing it. But that's the game. That, my boy, is the game. Everybody got it. So this weekend, getting back into today's show just a little bit. Brick by Brick says, what Toronto Reagan says, push through the process. Choose if you're going to play defense or offense and make your play. Okay, coach. I see you, coach. I like that. Brick by Brick says, self-realization and awareness level increases are powerful. Facts. All facts. my bad, bro. My bad. Oh man. Okay. All right. Yep. Whole snack over here. I told y'all, boy, it was a whole snack. So this weekend, man, life be lifin'. Last week we celebrated 100 episodes, 100, shows. And I was so freaking tired. I was stressed. A lot of moving parts. And the show didn't come off like I wanted it to come off. They come off like I hope it would have came off. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I know what happens. And Friday I took off because I helped Mama P move. And I figured I'd get a little rest on the weekend. But I forgot. Saturday, I had a gig. Saturday. So Friday ended up being a little different. We didn't get everything moved out. Actually, we didn't get anything moved. None of the heavy stuff moved on Friday. We ended up getting some movers, and they couldn't make it until yesterday. Good stuff. But I still found myself working. I had to go to work, actually. I had to go do some work stuff. And so when I got in Friday, I was tired. But then Saturday morning, I had to get up and go work. But that was actually a highlight. So, I did not get any rest. But I'm okay for the moment. So, and let me tell you why right now. So this weekend, I had a gig. It was a women's conference that I was tapped to film. And so y'all know my young line, Jordan. He recently got a camera, and he's been taking pictures. He's been hustling. He at school selling pictures, to the athletes. Getting their best shots in the game. He making his little money. So I've been trying to get him the game for a while anyway. When I told him I had this gig, and I was like, yo, you want in? You want to come? He's like, oh, yeah, Pop, I want to go. So he comes. I'm showing him the ropes. I mean, I'm working with my son, y'all. I'm teaching him how business works. I'm teaching him how money works. And I'm listening to him, his thoughts, what he thinks about his plans, his strategies. And we're sitting around while we're working, laughing, joking, having a good time. This is like a dream come true for me. Because y'all remember, all I ever wanted was family. All I ever wanted was to be a part, to feel like, not just I matter, but to be able to impart. Because quite often, most of us don't follow in the footsteps of our parents. Most of us don't. Most of us, I ain't gonna say most of us, it's a little strong word. I know people who either look down on their parents because their parents couldn't afford whatever their aspirations were. But I also know some people who worship their parents, who adore everything their parents ever did. And then I know a bunch of people in the middle who just like, My dad had a lawn service for 25 years. He retired. I don't want it. He can sell it. My dad was a baker, and he's baked bread for years. Has major contracts, but I don't want to do that. I want to go find myself and go travel abroad. But I'm sitting here with my son, and I am sharing a moment with him that I've gotten the chance to share with my oldest son, but not at the same level, because Jordan told you the first gig he ever worked with me, and he was what, 11? He was 11 years old, and we was filming Ari Lennox. We was filming Dreamville. We was filming a whole festival. He out there with his iPad just getting it. I keep forgetting about that picture. Somebody remind me to grab that picture one of these days so I can show you. I'm out there with a little camera. He out there with his iPad, and we both got the same smile on our face. It's a cute picture. Definitely father-son duo. And when we're leaving, we're talking about money. So I'm like, so tell me the first mistake you made today, or the first mistake you made about this whole process. He said, should I eat breakfast before I left home? I said, no, son. Did you came to work because you want to hang out with me? Or did you come to make some money? He said, well, I came to make some money and hang out with you. I said, so what's the one thing you didn't do? He said, what's that? I said, we never talked money. So I'm assuming you volunteering right now. I said, so I'm assuming you volunteering your services and your time. I said, I appreciate it. Would you like a bag of chips or a drink or something? Man, that dude's eyes got swollen big. Like, no, Pop, no, come on, Pop. No, man, come on, Pop. You know I'm trying to buy a car, man. You know I'm trying. I said, hey, man, you get what you negotiate for in life, bruh. What you negotiating for? We didn't talk numbers at all. Y'all know he was sick, right? So that's the first lesson. That was his first lesson. But you know, we came to a conclusion. He said, how about we do, and this is what he hit me with. Hit me with $10 an hour. How about we do $10 an hour? I said, oh, $10 an hour, huh? I said, that what you want? So he was basing his number off of, he had a little job, and he made $10 an hour at the job. I said, so did you work it? Because he worked at Arby's, so I just throw it out there. I said, when you worked at Arby's, how many hours you work a day? He said, about 6. I said, okay, how many hours did you work a day? He said, about 6. We started at 10:30 and we didn't get done to 4:30. I said, okay. I said, so you want to come in and do this work and you want me to give you $60? He was like, I mean, I like more, but you know, if I want to get him $10 an hour, and that's what I said, bruh, who determines how much money you get, bruh? You want me to determine it? Because I'm happy to buy you a bag of chips and a soda. Matter of fact, I'm happy to just drop you off back. I gave you a ride, my guy. I let you hang around me all day, my guy. Then he was like, well, Pop, I ain't trying to be funny, but what should I charge? We had the conversation about the pictures. Now, he knew what he's in charge for pictures because it's a tangible thing. A product is tangible, but a service, that's a little more tricky. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. I'm going somewhere. A service is a little bit more tricky. I said, so what did you do? He said, well, I set up the tripods, I ran the cables, I taped down the cables so people wouldn't trip over them, and I just helped you with, you know, whatever you wanted to do, whatever you needed me to do. I ran to the car and got stuff. I said, so you were a production assistant? He said, yeah, I'm a production assistant. You know, he's gone with me. Then I said, so what do you think? Just what do you think a production assistant should make? What would your hourly rate be as a production assistant versus the person who just on fries at Arby's? He thought about it for a second. I said, don't be scared of the number. Tell me the number. He said, 16. Shut up. I said, boy, I don't leave the house for less than $25 an hour. Tell me your number. 25 an hour? Oh, man. And so I actually had to break that and explain to him why when you a freelancer or when you in production or when you in not 9-to-5 jobs, you see in a 9-to-5 job, you can make $15 an hour, $10 an hour. And if you're working 40 hours, it equates to much more. But if you're doing weddings or events or things of that nature, you're not doing it every day. It's very technical, and you've put a lot of upfront cost into being able to provide the service. Whether it was know-how, courses, whether it was equipment, you put a lot into getting to where you are to have a level of expertise, so your rate should be much higher. And I say, yeah, you should be getting $25 an hour as a production assistant. You should be. However, you should not be getting the money that I will charge, because I charge way more than $25 an hour. I'm talking about if I'm working a job, I won't leave home for less than 20. I won't even accept a job if it's a full-time job and I make less than $25 an hour. I'm not even accepting, because I know how much I need to make to maintain my life. I know how much that is. But as a freelancer, that price is way, way up there. Because I know I may not work. This job might be the only job. So I need to bid accordingly. Or I may work good for 6 months and then I might go cold for 6 months. So I need to have my expertise and my skill at a level that I can command a certain amount of money. But anyway, this is the things that I'm talking to my son about this weekend. Having good conversation. Good time with him. Get in 7-ish. Everybody's at the house. Mom's is here. Wifey's here. Grandbaby's still here. Yeah, we just chilling, man. Yes, changes rate. And we're chilling, we're eating, we're having a good time. What up, Kay? And then my mom hadn't been feeling good for a couple of days. So come to find out, mom's got COVID. Mom's got COVID. Did a home test. Had to take her to the emergency room because of her condition. Didn't leave the emergency room until like 2 something. Get back home about 3 something. Still ain't got no rest, y'all. Still ain't got no sleep. Life be lifin'. Life be lifin'. So come back the next day. And Sunday's gonna be the rest day. Sunday is gonna be that day where we chilling. We ain't doing nothing. Relaxing. Well, of course that didn't happen, because now I got my 9-month-old granddaughter at the house, and that girl needs attention. Wifey trying to work, I'm trying to work, so we kind of rotating shifts, trying to see who. All right, okay, I'm gonna go do this, then I got her. Okay, well, I got her, and no rest happened. Then I rolled into the work week. The movers are coming that morning. Still have to cut. My mom been sick, so she hadn't been able to go to the house and do certain things. So I got to get over there to do some things. And when I tell you your boy's just tired. Oh, man. She's doing better. We think she had the worst part of it at the end of last week. We didn't realize what it was because she has so much going on that we didn't realize it was potentially COVID until some people at her church tested positive. So she decided to get tested at home. But yeah, she's doing better. She was bouncing around yesterday a little bit better. So appreciate the prayers. But that's life. That's life. Life, it happens no matter if we're ready for it, if we're not ready for it. And the thing that it brings along with it, with busy schedules and personal relationships, or romantic relationships, I should say. And there's family stress, there's work stress. We're doing a group kind of a eating program where we kind of thing that we did to lose the weight last year. We're doing another group this year with some family members and some friends, and the planning, the thinking, the discipline, it all creates a certain level of stress. But I'll be honest, if I hadn't changed my eating habits, I probably would be in worse shape than I am right now. Because all the sugar and all the other stuff is bad. And so what we're going to talk about for the next couple of days is stress. Like I said, today was the introduction. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about, I hadn't decided we're going to talk about relationships tomorrow. So be on the lookout, boo. You know, I got some stories for us. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about weight. But weight is a side effect of, too much stress. Bad relationships is a side effect of too much stress or turmoil in your relationship. So we're going to talk about stress. What is stress? Can anybody give me a definition of stress? And it leads to mental health issues too. Yeah, I see them eyes. Nothing heavy though. Nothing heavy. Gonna keep it light. But stress is basically the body's response to a threat, to something that requires us to be focused. Any demand. Stress is just the body's response to get things done. Do I need to run away? Am I running for my life? Is there some danger around? Or do I need to lock in to secure this contract, to secure this job? Or if I'm shooting my shot, do I need to get locked in on that? I'm nervous meeting this person. That's stress. And stress isn't always a bad thing. I know we think it is because we use it's such a negative connotation. But we have stress on the daily. But not knowing how to cope with it, because we talked about this a little while ago too. But it's one of those topics that needs to be refreshed, needs to come around again, because we all experience it on such a high level and so often. It's such a high level and so often. And sometimes we need those gentle reminders. Yesterday was Monday. Put a 1 in the chat if you felt stressed at all yesterday. I just want to take a quick poll. If you felt stressed at all yesterday, put a 1 in the chat. If you felt stressed at all yesterday, put a 1 in the chat. If you've already felt stressed today, put a 2 in the chat. If you've already been under a little bit of stress this morning, put a 2 in the doggone D-Rob. D-Rob said, D-Rob was on one, is that a 1 billion? What are you on? He's on 100 million or a billion over there. Too many zeros for me to count. Yep, I feel you. Ones, 2, okay. Yeah, see, everybody, man, we all go through certain time periods where the stress is abnormal. Stress becomes abnormal over time if it's prolonged. Too much cortisol flows through our body, which affects how we it affects how we process not just our foods, but also the amount of sugar in our system. It stores fat sometimes more than burning it because there's so much just flooding our system. And so we start to gain weight whether we realize it or not. Like we doing this program right now, and I gained 2 pounds over the weekend, and I think I ate less than I normally would eat because my body is stormed because of the amount of stress that I'm under. So you could be doing all the right things, but if you're stressed out, you might not get the results. You could be in line for a promotion at work. You could be in line to build your company or get this next contract. But if you're stressed out, you're not going to be focused long enough to get the results you want. You're going to drop the ball somewhere because you're lacking focus. Everything that I do generally, I juggle it pretty easy. But I've reached my capacity. My bucket is running over. Just like sound like D-Rob bucket is running over. So what we're going to talk about this week is we're going to talk about some of the causes of the stress, and we're going to talk about how to put holes or taps in that bucket to drain some of that water out, because your capacity is your capacity. Everybody can't take a lot. Everybody, your life hadn't put you on a path to take a lot. So your capacity may be small, and what affects one person at one level may not even scratch the surface of another person, because we all have different capacities. It's about our experiences, our life, which is why you trust the process, which is why you keep going. Toronto Reagan says, stress is an outward pressure that becomes an inward pressure. I like it. It's an outward nerve that is inhaled, that brings pressure the body cannot handle. Okay, I see that. Okay, yep. Toronto says, I haven't been stressed since I left that job. I'm actually good. Shout out to you. Where did you work? Did you? Cause that chick boy, she done. That's 2 comments about some odors of some people. You must have. Did you work at a? Never mind. Yeah. All right. Cool. It is what it is. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about, that capacity thing. We're going to be talking about resiliency. We're going to talk about how stress inhibits or gets in the way of relationships, personal or professional. It's amazing how our perceived stress affects so much. And most times it's coming from our perception. Now, in my case, I have a lot of capacity. My bucket is pretty large. Because I've been through a lot. I've had a lot of setbacks, a lot of failures, and I've learned through time that it all works out. So things don't really bother me as much because I've just seen it too many times. When y'all get to my age, y'all will understand. You can only go through things so long before the patterns start to make sense. And I see this thing happen, I see this thing happen over and over again, and I know it's all going to work out. Now, is it going to work out the way I intend for it to work out? Most times it will. Sometimes it won't. And sometimes we got to take those L's. Nothing is perfect. Life isn't perfect. So we're going to talk about that a little bit this week. How it affects those relationships, personal and private. How it affects our weight. and also some coping mechanisms. We could talk about resiliency, capacity, and just overall just being more healthy, health-minded, things to do to knock that out. So Yo knows the story. People didn't believe in good hygiene, so let's keep it there. You know, it always blows my mind whenever I get around people who don't think that taking a bath regularly is a good idea. But I once knew a lady, and I'm not sure if it was her upbringing or where she came from, but she had two daughters. And her philosophy on life was you're not supposed to take a bath every day. And so her daughters took baths like every other day. And when you were on your cycle, you didn't take a bath. Ladies, if that makes any sense to y'all, put a 1 in the chat. If you know, if that makes sense, put a 1. I'm just curious. I'm a dude. I don't always get it. Some things don't make sense to me. But she said, if your cycle was on, you shouldn't take a bath. So what if your cycle come on and your day off that you ain't took a bath? So now I gotta wait for 3-4 days to take a bath? So I'm like a week not bathing? Toronto Ricky says lies. Too old to be smelling like that and trying to cover with spray. Oh no, spray never works. The spray never works. Never works. But point being, some people, they're taught these things. Now some people just lazy. Straight up lazy. They moonlighting, they stressed out, so they can't sleep at night, so they out all times of night and taking a bath. They don't want to feel good, so they don't take a bath. Some people are torturing themselves. Some people are torturing themselves. Kay said, God is not going to bless that. Oh, man. But some people are taught those things. Some people are taught those things. And then they go into their homes and they teach. Wow, cat heifer spray works. Peanut and funk. Yeah, man. I was always curious because I would be around sometimes and I'd just be like, is it me or is that who, what is that? Yes, that's what you're smelling. Where is it? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, man. Pennies and funk. Yeah, I don't want no parts of that either. And so people, we only know what we're taught, right? And so those little girls went to school and they got picked on for a while. And the lady was older. Now maybe she came from, now she was much older. So she was probably born 1930s maybe. She's passed away now. She's probably passed maybe the last 10 years or so, maybe 15. Maybe 15. But maybe they couldn't, her family, they couldn't take baths, but every other day because of the water situation, getting water from the lake or the well or wherever they was getting water from back in those days. I'm not sure where they lived. They even had running plumbing. A lot of houses, early 1900s, it wasn't no plumbing in the house. You went out to your well. I mean, shoot, some places still that way. You go out to the well, you pump water. You fill a basin tub up, and you get in there and you take a bath. It wasn't like you hop in the tub, cut the water on, and get it as hot as you want it. In our history, we're living in a very privileged time now, where we can just go in the water, go to our hot water heater, set the temperature we want to have, sit in the tub and soak. Once upon a time, it wasn't so simple. So, maybe the time she came from was different. But can you imagine the amount of stress those girls was under, going through middle school, smelling like sour sausage and raid? They were being teased and picked on. Ooh, that chick yo said, man, we had to prime the well. And it was 5 of us. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We all have a story. We have a different upbringing. We see things in life differently, which is why it's important that we form community, that we get out our silos and stop doing things, sour mayo, and stop doing things in a corner. Group knowledge works. Group knowledge works. It betters the society. It betters the culture. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about for the rest of the week. So if you guys bring your comments on your stress stories and all of that good stuff. And so I don't know. I think tomorrow's hump day. We'll keep it a little light, but we're going to talk about relationships tomorrow. I think that's a good look. And I'm going to use an example of me and my wife recently had, because we're both under a lot of pressure and stress right now. We're both, I say, burning the candle at both ends, because we have so many things that we're trying to do, that we've done and continually trying to do. Buying a house, traveling, coming back, moving, then moving moms in, then dealing with the fallout from her treatments for cancer and all these other things. Then now the COVID on top of that. And just trying to maintain life. We are burning the candle. We're all over the place. And that brings up a certain amount of stress in the house. And we saw fluctuations in our weight. We saw fluctuations in our quality time. We saw fluctuations in just how we relate to each other. And then once you go out of the house, there's conflicting things happening on our jobs. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm talking about it because I'm talking to myself. Because every now and then I have to look in that mirror and say, sir, who are you? And what have you done with Jamon? Get away. Back up. Psh, 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 psh. Get away. I had to say it sometimes. When I look in the mirror and I don't like what I see in the mirror, I know it's time to de-stress. I know it's time to reset. So that's what we're talking about this week. And I feel a little bit better today than I did yesterday. It was, and then I had to work last night too, after the finishing the movie. I had to go to work, managing people's schedules, all kind of stuff, man. And so it just never stops. It never stops. Oh man, but we back. We are back. If I can get just the whole thing to act right. So it's been good seeing all of you again, chatting, having conversations, building community. Oh yeah. I need some coffee, y'all. I'm out of coffee. This is a mixture of something that is not really quite coffee, I don't think. So I've dropped a link in the description. If you want to buy your boy a cup of coffee, click that link out there. I can't pull it up right now because I'm actually in the stream. But in the description of this show, and actually only this show, go on there and incorporate, because some people, like, they want to support, they don't really know what to do. So I'm just like, man, just buy me a cup of coffee. Just buy me a cup of coffee. It's a buy me a cup of coffee link in the description. So if you really enjoying the content and you really rock with your boy, hey, there's an option. I'm not gonna beat that horse to death. But it is good to feel appreciated. It is. I will say that. Even though my love language is sacrifice, so I don't always do it. So people, my friends and my family, and especially my wife, are always telling me, dude, you don't take credit for what you do. You do a lot, and you don't be asking for no credit. You just be doing stuff. You don't be talking money now. When you going to do some work, I'm gonna talk money. But just stuff that I enjoy doing, man, I don't really mind. So this is my attempt to be better. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, homies. If you rock with your boy, there's a link in that description. It'll probably be in all the descriptions going forward. But that being said, much love, episode 101. Episode 101. Yep, I think, did I miss anything? Nope, I didn't. I'm good. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you. And we still waiting on that show with Bobby yet. Y'all help me put some pressure on her, because I be telling her, but she ain't camera shy. Let's get that straight now. Child ain't camera shy. Not one bit. But the mornings are hard for her. Just in all fairness though, mornings are hard for her. So if I'm gonna get her on, it's gonna have to be definitely something in the evening. Something at night. But y'all keep applying that pressure to her. She'll get on here one of these days. So shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to the new members of the Facebook family. Baby steps. Shout out to everybody who keeps coming and showing up. I really appreciate you. I respect you more than you know. It means a lot that you come in and you're hanging out with your boy. So I just want to say it one more time. Thank you for all that you do. Y'all have a great day no matter what. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Morning motivation. We out here. Peace.